Alright, I hope this works now. Hey Zach, welcome. We're gonna do some Ace Attorney. I hope some other people join up, but in the meantime, hey, how are you doing tonight? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, not it's tonight. Tonight we're going back for Ace Attorney. It's been a while. I think it's time we continue Ace Attorney. Just 1 second. There we go. And yeah, let's do this. There we go. There we go, the Great Ace Attorney, the adventures of the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh man, everything's coming up in my house tonight. Oh, what's wrong with me? I hope the volume is fine and yes. We'll continue from last time. November 22, 11:38 AM, Supreme Court, Defendant Lobby 5. Well done, Naruhodo, that was fantastic. Hey! Richter Belmont, yeah. I feel like I'm dying. I can hardly believe it. I mean, just look at you. You drenched in sweat, knees trembling, eyes darting, teeth chattering. But even in that sorry state, you managed to grasp the truth. Thanks, man. Thanks. You're more suited for this line of work than I thought. Stop it. Or I'll really die of embarrassment. That one. In any case, we finally dragged that phantom woman to the stand. Miss Giselle Brett, an exchange student from the British Empire, huh? See, I told you there was someone else in there. Dr. Watson wasn't alone at the time of the incident. There was a young woman sitting across from him. True, but you did say that. At the very least, I do have confidence. At the very least, I do have confidence in my powers of observation, you know? Yeah. By the way, speaking of that lady, I know that the good detective helped her vanish from the crime scene. But did you really not catch any of that while it was happening? No, I can't say I did. Right as I was about to leave the restaurant, I saw a pistol by the doctor's table. It was just lying there, begging to be picked up. The next thing I knew... Before I could figure out where the gunshot had come from, that waiter suddenly charged at me like a madman. Then he shoved me into the kitchen pantry. It sounds like a brilliant arrest, just what I expect from a trained detective. As for what happened at the crime scene afterwards, well, I have absolutely no idea. Hello again, excellent work out there, you two. Is it the old man? Yes. I forgot what was I did for him, so... Professor Mikotoba. It appears that my hunch was correct. The two of you make a fine team. In fact, you're faring even better than I expected. I knew this was all a part of your scheme, wasn't it, Professor? You plot me to remove me from his defense. This country is still young, its legal system even younger. Hey Arras, how are you doing, man? Welcome! As such. Oh, shut up, Arras. No, fuck you! It It is particularly valuable for our nation to have our brightest youth scouring the globe. I intervened only to prevent the possibility that your trip to study abroad could be revoked. And yet, Professor, if I turn out to be a pathetic man who can't even save his best friend, then I will withdraw from the change program myself. No, you can't do that. It's hip to fuck beast. Oh, but he can. I thought you might say something like that. Asogi. That means everything rests on your shoulders then. Stop looking at me like that. The director has some fuck me eyes. Huh? Mine, sir? Prove your own innocence and expose the truth behind this murder. I would love to learn what really happened. After all, I can't say that I'm completely unaffected by this incident. Come to think of it, the Professor Mikotova mentioned that earlier, didn't he? Let me just turn off one of my fans so it's not as noisy. 1 second. Professor, could it be that you were acquainted with the victim? Why, yes, I was. The one who formally invited the late John H. Watson to teach here as a professor was none other than myself. Why so serious? Are you serious? As long as his legs don't rest on his shoulders. This is my first time hearing about this too. Whatever the case may be, you both have your work cut out for you. The murder victim was a professor from Britain, whose name holds a great sway. Thus, our government hopes to convict someone as swiftly as possible. What's more, the opponent we're about to face is someone the Imperial Police tried to cover up, a British student and a lady at that. I suspect the prosecution will unleash all manner of underhanded tactics against you. But I know you two are prepared to fight until the bitter end. Hang in there. Yes, sir! Ah, that reminds me. I would like you to return to the university immediately. We may have some use for you over there. Understood. Kazuma, I wish you the best. A kangaroo court, yeah, that's going to suck. Defendant! Recess is ending. Head back to the courtroom at once. It's time. I'm counting on you, partner. I'm counting on you again, partner. Let's put the nonsensical ramblings of these old men to pieces. Hey, Asogi. Yes? Thanks, I mean it. Come on, no need to be so courteous. No, seriously, if you hadn't put your faith in me, I'd have been declared guilty a long time ago. I have faith in you, not only as a man, but as a friend. Rixas is ending, get off this live! Asogi. If I'm declared guilty in this trial, Asogi really will give up his trip abroad. That's just the sort of guy he is. I'm not the only one whose fate is at stake in this battle. My life is, but not my... No matter who the opponent is, I can't afford to lose. I guess you're right. I'll save my gratitude for after the trial. Get ready to treat me to the usual beef hot pot at the cafeteria when this is over. You got it! I'll even... oh no, it was Naruhodo who said that, sorry. You got it, I'll even get you an extra large serving. November 22, noon 09 PM. Card... courtroom too. It threw hamburgers as Ogi. The court will now resume the trial of Rinosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Auchi. How goes the how goes the search for a new key witness?
Good, Your Honor. She has responded to the summons. Thanks to a certain little brat, our government was scrambling to complete the task.
Sorry about that. Responding to in a timely manner is their job, not ours. I failed to say the problem.
This uproar has surely soured our relationship with the British Empire.
You jeopardize not only the treaty but also our nation's future. I'm so sorry. A treaty format to an easily agitated empire isn't worth the paper it's written on. I repeat, I failed to see the problem.
I beg your pardon?
A secret trial to appease a foreign government, a sloppy investigation, a hidden witness. Where has our nation's sense of justice gone? To which empire does this court belong? To which empire does this court belong?
Silence! Know your place, student. You children know nothing of the precarious position our nation is in.
For us to one day stand among the powers, profound political strategy is needed.
Our path forward shall be paved by diplomacy.
While I may be an average student who no one understands and knows a little about politics, I can feel the truth of Asogi's words just by standing here in this court. An empire with no justice has no future. That's what I believe. Oh man, if you only knew Mexico. Well said, Naruhodo. Shifty eyes and all.
Damn you!
Very well. As our empire's highest bastion of law, this Supreme Court exists for the sake of justice. Let us resume the trial. The court calls the next witness to stand. He's still a rookie after all. Bring in the witness student from the British Empire, Miss Giselle Brett. Giselle Margaret. Hey! Excuse me, what? Oh, greetings, you must have endured quite the journey. Welcome to Japan. Quick, someone fetch the tea. A proper British greeting begins and ends with a black tea. Is that true? Don't know, don't care.
Ah. Now then, witness, will you please grace us with your name and occupation?
Hi. My name is Satoru Sonaga. I'm currently working undercover as a waiter at...
I wasn't talking to you!
Ladies first! A proper British greeting always begins and ends with a lady.
Is that true?
No, still don't care. More importantly, do you remember what you said earlier? One thing I do have confidence in is my own observational skills, was it? Right, I might have said that. Yet, all you could describe her as was a young woman. Sure, you're not actually blind as a bat, Naruhodo. I have no rebuttal.
Anyway, let us start over. Witness, your name and occupation if you please.
Ah, yes, the classic British speech, yes. Yes. Shifty eyes and all.
My lady, pardon the rudeness, but
Come again? She says her name is Giselle Brett. She hails from London. At present, she is a research exchange student in the Imperial UMA's medical program. Oh, your English is so pleasing to hear, my lady. Stop licking her souls, man. Even though I understand not a word, I am entranced by the beauty of your voice. From what I can hear, we can't trust the detective to interpret her testimony accurately. Yeah, I agree. Looks like that prep work you did to study abroad in Britain won't go to waste. As for you, Naruhodo, it seems your time in the English department isn't just for show. Now then, esteemed witness. Apologies for the inconvenience, but we will like for you to testify. When the jazz man testifies, then 3 days ago, at the scene of the terrifying murder in La Juantos, we were sharing table with the late Dr. Watson. Is that correct? She says yes. What? This is going to get annoying fast. This exchange student doesn't even speak our tongue? She says she had to vacate the scene due to an emergency. She deeply apologizes. She had to return to university for an important research symposium. Some chick you have for someone who personally let her escape. I was simply following the special orders issued to me by the police headquarters. Do excuse me, my lady. Could you please look at this photograph? Yes, show her the corpse. When the incident occurred, you were unfortunately at the scene of the crime. Does that mean you bore witness to the crime with those beautiful eyes of yours? She says it was a most sad and terrifying spectacle to behold. So she did see it after all. Get Holmes. Yes, Your Honor, it seems that she indeed witnessed the crime unfold. The defendant over there. He's the one who shot the victim. That is her testimony of the moment of the crime. Order! Order! Order in the court! Yeah, I would like a burger, please. Eat your humble as Apollo. There you have it, Your Honor! This is an incriminating testimony. Now I get it. That woman is our true opponent. No shit, Sherlock! As much as it pains me to say this, witness, please give us your testimony. Describe us this sad and terrifying spectacle. A sad and terrifying spectacle. Oh my god! That day I had joined Dr. Watson for a rather late lunch. The doctor was unable to eat, so I ordered a beef steak for myself. The accused came over to greet the doctor, but they quickly began to argue. What? Then, before my very eyes, a student took the doctor's pistol and shot him. I was not carrying a firearm, so it's impossible for me to have committed a crime. That does sound like... I swear! I never argued with a doctor.
Quit your yammering.
The word of a black-hearted villain or the word of a pure-hearted lady? Which do you think we trust? Even a scoundrel like you should know. Naruhodo, haven't you learned your lesson? Nothing's going to change if you keep raising your hand without thinking. I'm just so frustrated. Shortly thereafter, I arrived on the scene. When I relayed the testimonies of this lady and the two previous witnesses to headquarters, it was concluded that she had no relation to the incident. Thus, she was sent home. Now, if only those testimonies were legitimate. In any case, this lady is wearing the same outfit she wore on the day of the incident. As you can see, there is no place in which she could have concealed a pistol. Yes, between her breasts? I think you could hide a single pistol just about anywhere though. Unless you can indicate this hiding place to us, what you are spouting is mere conjecture. This dress has no pockets. There is nowhere to hide a pistol. That is what she says. I'd like to turn that woman upside down and give her a good shake just to check. You'd better not thinking of getting violent, Naruto. Come on! I didn't fire the gun I found, so there must have been another one. Exactly. That lady must have concealed it somehow. At least, that is what we need to prove. And to do that, we have to destroy her testimony no matter what. Tell us the place is sack. Very well, defense. The court orders you to begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Let's save just in case. 2 PM at late lunch indeed. Late lunches are the latest trend in the British Empire. Is that so, my lady? No. That sounded like a no, a sharp one at that. This lady appears to be a guest at the medical research laboratory. Hence, she will often go out to lunch with Dr. Watson. But on that day, the victim had a doctor's appointment. I think there is a note about that somewhere in the court record. Our clinic is written here on the front. I hate the word clinic as much as I hate treatment center and hospital. Well, they are almost the same thing. One time when I was about 5 years old, I caught a cold and I had to go to a clinic. That merciless needle pierced my arm and while I was still weakened from the fever. God! I will never forget that moment for the rest of my life. What a gloomy yet completely normal childhood story. Okay, it doesn't look like this clinic deals with internal medicine. This isn't what we need. Let's look thoroughly for any other clues. This medical report looks like it was first issued a pretty long time ago. I think it's a personal medical record. This treatment must have been ongoing. That would be impossible for me. I'd never go to a doctor even if I was dead. You can't visit a doctor if you're dead. Do you really hate doctors that much? Well, they inject you with painful needles. They make you drink disgusting medicine. On top of that, they charge you for it. I'm dying here and they expect to be paid. I bet you've caused doctors a lot of trouble with that attitude. I should soak your hard head in some of that disgusting medicine for a while. These appear to be records written by a doctor. There must be an entry written here on the day the incident occurred. Prepare anesthesia to the extraction. Extraction? That's when they pull the tooth out, right? Before the incident, it appears Dr. Watson was suffering from toothache. The dentists in Europe use laughing gas these days. I wonder if they use that. I've read about it. They say it makes you go numb. Supposedly, it makes you so you won't feel the pain, but I find that hard to believe. There are also some precautionary notes written by the doctor. Due to residual laughing gas, consumption of anything but water is strictly prohibited for 3 hours after treatment. Yes, okay. He certainly did. It was almost 2 PM by the time his treatment was complete. I see. That makes sense. Truly a perfect memory from a perfect lady. The witnesses gathered at the restaurant. What happened next? Professor was unable to eat, so I ordered beef steak for myself. Oh, whoops. Unable to eat. You're referring to the professor's visit to the horror clinic, right? That is correct. You didn't even ask her first. Incidentally, was the lady aware of that visit? Yes, she heard about the tooth extraction the day, the day off. That means... you were the one who ate beefsteak after all. Quality writing, everybody! That is correct. This photograph reveals how the scene looked at the time, sad and terrifying. At the time, huh? Indeed, what a tragedy! To have ventured out to this far eastern land only to be embroiled in a murder case. I, ouchie! Shall become a vengeful god and sink my fist into the criminal's face. I take it that late Dr. Watson didn't ingest anything then? Yes, with the exception of carbonated water. Carbonated water? Although he could not eat, he could at least have a drink. So the two of us made a toast, she says. Toast with carbonated drinks. Huh. So, what do you think of that testimony? I believe there's a deeper meaning to this lady's testimony. Oh, fascinating, and what meaning would that be, pray tell? Amazing! When the time is ripe, the meaning shall reveal itself. The defense requests that the witness' last statement be added to her testimony. Ha! A clever save. Now then, my lady, would you please add that statement to your testimony for us? Gladly, she says. Nice one, Asogi, I'll remember those words. Which words? When the time is ripe, what a convenient phrase! Could you please at least take this a little more seriously, Naruhodo? Okay, I'll check the photo because I think the contradiction lies there. There is only one... Okay, I think there is only one... Yes, there is only one. That's it! I'd like to confirm something about this photograph. Does it only have one glass, or am I mean... The lady herself just told us that the spectacle was shown in this photograph. Was exactly how the scene looked at the time? That is correct. Except that is, strange, really strange. The only strange here thing is your inability to properly slam the desk. What is so strange about this photograph? I'm referring to the toast they made. The toast. Yes, Baby D. The lady said she made a toast with carbonated water in wine glasses. But if that were the case, the table should have 2 glasses on it. Oh. You're right, there's only a single wine glass. No matter how you look at it, that's just a trivial matter. How could a single wine glass have an impact on the case? Trivial, you say? Even if it was the police that hid that glass to deflect suspicion from the lady? What rubbish! I will never perform such a foolish act. Then should there be 2 wine glasses? I mean, think about it. They made a toast. Yes, I suppose you have a point. While posing as a waiter, I brought 2 wine glasses to the table for what? Detective! What did she just say? Buttered toast. Evidently, the one who removed the wine glass was none other than Miss Jesale Brett herself. Nani! I was so profoundly shaken by the events that I had transpired before my eyes, that I concealed the fact that I was there against my better judgment. Nani the fuck? Why? Sorry. Nani the fucking did! See? It was a trivial matter after all. Excuse me? Let's forget her fellow countryman was murdered before her very eyes. You cannot blame her for hiding 1 or 2 wine glasses under such duress. That's absurd! Oh, perhaps... You dare condemn this frail foreign beauty's sense of playfulness? Nani? Oh, please, you can't just dismiss something like this as mere playfulness. By the way, how exactly did she hide the wine glass? Yes, this is stupid, but I love it! She says she placed... Exactly! She says she placed it into a small handbag she was carrying. Her handbag. A fashionable pouch in which ladies of the British Empire store personal items. I know, right? With this, we've established that the lady took the wine glass from the scene. I know, right? That's kind of amazing. They actually, in the previous stream, Naruhodo made mention of it, that why is a soggy bandana always blowing? It's like Proto Man's scarf in Mega Man 8. However, said wine isn't relevant to the case at hand. This evil stunt is merely grasping at straws. The court has no need for any more of his misleading accusations. Indeed, now that we know why the lady took that wine glass. We must all agree that it has no bearing on the case at hand. Are we ignoring the... Are we ignoring the handbag? Is the court this much of a kangaroo? Understood, attorney? Huh? I'm the scat man. I wonder. At this rate, if we wish to press this issue any further, we must have to prove what is worthy of discussion. Yeah. Miss Brest whisked the glass away into her handbag. So the crucial question here is... Attention to a freaking handbag! Hold a minute. She put the wine glass in her handbag? Indeed, nothing strange about that. Every lady in the British Empire owns a handbag, you know. As I recall, Miss Brett made a certain claim earlier. This dress has no pockets. There is no place for me to hide a pistol. However, we now know she had a handbag. Was it possible for her to hide a pistol in that handbag? Oh. Where to go, partner? I knew you noticed that contradiction. Yes, except for nothing, asswipe. What do you mean by that, you dirty little... It's simple. The defendant, Rhino Scanner Hollow, picked up a fallen pistol and heard a gunshot. Since he did not pull the trigger of the pistol at his hand, there must have been another one. Another gun that was a true murder weapon. Sorry. You can't mean... Detective! Defective! Yes. Did you investigate the contents of Miss Brett's handbag? No, I did not inspect it. I knew it. In other words, the other gun, the true murder weapon, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. What did you say? Detective effective. Yeah, effective detective. Order in the court. Detective, I demand an explanation. Of what, Prosecutor Auchi? How could you fail to give that handbag a thorough inspection? This lady has been forced to put up with the false accusations with a lack of due diligence. You did it, partner. You've created an opportunity to tear down her facade. You really think so? Oh no! Don't tell me you're going to die there! My goodness. You have no faith in the Imperial Police, I see. It's true, I did not check the contents of the lady's bag. Because... there was no need to do so. Nani? What do you mean? I must thank the student defense attorney over there. He has reminded me of a piece of evidence that I forgot to show to the court. Forgot! This here photograph. I took this photograph as a precaution after the incident occurred. As you can see, Miss Brett's handbag was captured in this photo, in this picture. What? You can clearly see the inside of her handbag. Isn't that... Wait, isn't that a crime against logic? What use is a handbag for if it has holes? The contents can't... Yes! Take it! Accept the ace attorney! Anyway, exactly, Your Honor. This handbag was woven from leather, a material popular among high-class Londoners. The contents are out on full display. Hence, there was no need to inspect it, after all. If there was a pistol inside, it would have stood out immediately. Nani? The lack of pistol is proof of Miss Brett's innocence. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present this, young student. No! Yeah! Yamero, Yamero! Keiji-san, Yamero! Yamete kudasai! Order, order! Defective, I mean detective. I ordered you to hand over that photograph as evidence. As you wish, Your Honor. Photograph of the handbag has been filed in the court record. I hereby conclude the cross-examination of the witness. No, 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 there has to be anything here, anything. I see that people, I see... No way, no, wait, what's this? Is this a tattoo? Of a ball? It's like, it's a cow's head. Okay. An emblem? Oh, Illuminati confirmed. I hereby conclude the cross-examination of the witness. The court believes that with this photograph, all relevant evidence is at hand. As long as there is no issues with this photograph, all doubts surrounding this case have been cleared. Now, it is a time to reach a verdict. In other words, there is but one conclusion. No one was capable of committing the crime except for the student who prostrated on his desk. No. I thought we were about to make a great turnabout. Instead, we were shut down before we could even get traction. Asogi? I'm sorry, Naruhodo. Now that the cross-examination is over, we have no way of prolonging this trial. Nani? Then the verdict will be... You put up a good fight for a starry-eyed student, I'll give you that. However, resistance is futile in the face of a fair judgment. Reflect on that fact, your heart's content from the comfort of your cell. Is this the end? Am I really going to jail for a crime I didn't commit? And what about Sogi? Will he be forced to give up his dream of studying abroad? Hey, Asogi. What is it, Naruhodo? Are we really out of options? You heard the judge. As long as there are no issues with that detective's photograph, the trial cannot continue. It's over. Oh, warida. Kore wa owarida. We can agree this is a kangaroo court and all of this case is bullshit, right? Very well then. The court shall proceed to deliver its judgment. It appears that the report we can report back to the British Empire without further delay. Oh, damn it! I will now announce the verdict for the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Please wait, Your Honor. Naruhodo? You should hold off the passing of the verdict. What are you going to do about now? Once the trial is over and a conclusion is reached, the judge hands down the verdict. That is the most fundamental rule that governs the Supreme Court. But His Honor clearly said, as long as there are no issues with its photograph, all doubts surrounding the case have been cleared. Now is the time to render a verdict. Therefore, in the event that there is a huge issue with this evidence, the trial must go on. Are you delusional? The only purpose of this photograph was to show the items in her handbag. How could there be any issue with it? I better save. Sorry that I save so much, it's kind of a habit I can't break off. I understand the defense's concern. It's true, we have yet to examine this photograph closely. However, I cannot imagine what additional clues may lie within this behind. Ha! As if anything like that will exist. I'm sick and tired of these students' desperate proclamations. Come on, I'm not that desperate. I just know there's something about this photograph that stands out. Like a bovine. In the field. Very well then, we'll run the defense one last opportunity. Come again? This trial may or may not end immediately depending on what you have to say. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. In this photograph that Detective Hosonaga submitted as evidence, proceed to point out the problem with this photograph. It has to be this. It has to be this. Please take a look right here. On the victim's wrist, you can see a mysterious scar. Indeed. It looks like a burn. I was wondering what you might blurt out in your desperation, but really? That has absolutely nothing to do with the lady's handbag, does it? That is indeed a scar from a burn. Would you elaborate, detective? The police had noticed the burn as well during the inspection of the corpse. However, since it had nothing to do with the cause of death, it was left out of the records. That would only be fair, because even establishing precisely when the victim suffered the burn will be impossible to begin with. The more I look at this, the more I think that there's something strange about this. About this strange scar. But Prosecutor Auchi is right, as long as there is no clean connection to the case. I do not see any issue to further investigate this burn mark. Unfortunately, Your Honor, the time for her to dine with the officials of the Human University is fast approaching. If it is alright, the witness would like to kindly request that she be allowed to leave. Oh, but of course, that is not a problem at all. Your Honor, please, let us hand down the verdict at once. Oh, explain yourself. Are you saying that this burn is somehow related to the case? To tell you the truth, I don't really know myself, but if I just stand by idly by, it's all over for me. No matter what, I have to keep pushing forward, even if I'm just grasping at straws. Yeah, you're right. Asogi, if we can't prove the connection between this burn back and the incident at hand, we may be able to open a door that was once locked to us. But now, there is no way you can possibly pull that off. We cannot afford to waste time listening to baseless conjecture. In other words, all we need to do is show you evidence, Your Honor. Do I have evidence of that? School badge. Oh, I see. No, sorry. The proof that links at the burn back to this incident. That's correct. Truth to be told, I had overlooked this mysterious burn mark. However, the moment you pointed it out in the photograph, I did not overlook the sudden darkness in that overtook the witness's face. Nani? My only option is to establish a connection between the burn mark and the crime. This really is really important. I can't mess it up. I have to find the evidence that will reveal the truth behind the burn mark. Now I order the defense to present evidence to the court. What evidence establishes a connection between the burn mark and this case? This is the same photograph from before. I think photographs really are an extraordinary invention. Things that are easily overlooked by the untrained eye can be recorded eternally for all to see. Me too! I'm just waiting for her to break up. Anne, what are you getting at? Tell us what we're supposed to see. I cannot allow your needless charades to waste any more of my lady's time. I hope you will be willing to grace us with your presence just for a short, longer while, miss. Short while longer, miss. The connection we're looking for in this is very clearly shown in this photograph. Why did the victim have such a mysterious burn mark in his body? On his body? What was the cause? The cause? A bluff is as obvious as that won't work on me. You will do tell to present your evidence immediately. What do you suppose caused the victim's burn mark? The beefsteak? The beefsteak isn't the important part. It's the iron plate under the meat. Plate. Oh! What's the matter, Your Honor? This iron plate bears a certain insignia. It's safe to assume that this is the symbol of La Quantos. The insignia on this iron plate and the shape of the victim's burn mark are a perfect match. Naruhodo, you really are something else. You're really something else. He's right. Therefore, we can assume that the victim received the burn mark at La Quantos. But even if that may be true, it does mean that he was burnt on the day of the murder. Surely it was only it was on the day before the crime, or the day before that, or any other unrelated day. Well, you see... Bad news, Prosecutor Auchi. Chances of that are terribly low. Sorry. I'm starting to guess that too, Zack. I'm starting to think of that. Why would that be? Look at how clearly the burn shows on his skin. A burn like that would have sent the restaurant into a uproar. A burn like this would send the restaurant into an uproar. Detective Hosonaga, what are your thoughts? Defective. An injury of such severity could not possibly slip by without causing a bit of fuss. But... It appears to be fresh. It appears to be fresh when he was born recently. And while the wound is indeed small, it has left a distinct burn mark. That means this was an especially severe burn. What does that mean for us? For example, oh yes. Let me give you the conditions that will have to be present for a burn like that to form. You will have to press against a hot surface for at least 3 seconds at 90 degrees Celsius. One probably won't be able to help but let out a scream from the pain. I've been undercover at La Quantos for weeks and I have never heard any screams like that. As a waiter and at the restaurant in question, I can confidently assure you of that. Weren't you only focusing on your detective work? Indeed, that's why this is so strange. I agree with Detective Hosonaga. If you were to press your skin down on such a hot plate, you will have cried out in pain. It's just human instinct. But the detective didn't hear any screams. What's even stranger, on that day I didn't hear anything like I didn't hear anything like that either. What? If he had just accidentally dropped his hand on the hot plate for 3 seconds... Can you really call it an accident if you leave it there for 3 seconds? At the time, the witnesses were me, the solder, and Dick owner. Needless to say, all of us would have heard a scream if it had happened. Isn't that right, prosecutor? Yes, that will be true. Then it begs a question. Why did none of us heard Dr. Watson's scream? Naruhodo, what are you getting at? I can't believe this. Even I had no idea I would reach this kind of conclusion. But it seems that all of us may have fallen victim to an inconceivable trap. I can only think of one possible explanation for this contradiction. I'm so paranoid, I'm sorry. I'll need to stop. When the professor burned his wrist, he was... Omae wa mou shindeiru. Even with his wrist pressed onto the hot iron plate, he managed to be silent. A scenario like that would be impossible. That is, if we were to ignore the obvious implication. The obvious implication? Do you mean... Yes. He must have been already dead. Already dead? There's no other way to see it at this point. On that day, when the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Watson's dining table, the doctor was already dead. What? No, how? It can't be... Order! Just what in heaven's name does this mean? Haven't we been operating on the assumption that the victim was killed by a gunshot? Indeed so, Your Honor, don't be misled. These students' outrageous claims are nothing but nonsensical attempts to twist the truth. The one twisting the truth is you, prosecutor. How so? We have established at the time when the doctor burned his wrist at Los Cuantos. The reality of this incident has already changed completely. Do you not understand? Your Honor, we demand further testimony. If the victim had been dead long before the sound of the gunshot, then there is a possibility that the witness knew about that fact. This is beyond my wildest imagination. I never have thought this trial would be a twist after twist. I'm sorry to ask this of you, Miss Brett, but you'll have to give up on your prior arrangements. Are you mad? While our country's judicial system may still be immature, we cannot pass a verdict when so many doubts remain. Your Honor. Is this it? Is she going to speak Japanese now? Did she just laugh? Yes, of course. Yes. I'll happily consent to your demands. For the sake of your empire and mine, for the friendship we share with the Empire of Japan. Oh, Miss Brett, did you just speak Japanese? Oh, certainly, I know the language. What kind of exchange student doesn't? Then why did you need an interpreter? Queen's English. English is the most beautiful language of all. A lady will never stoop to dirtying her lips with other ugly languages unless she had to. It will seem that gentlemen in this land want for a chivalrous spirit. As such, I am left with no choice but to speak for myself. Oh, you really are a proper British lady. Yes, wow, rude! To the extent of all your goodwill spreads as wide as the great ocean. Very well. Miss Brett, the court requests that you give your additional testimony. Tell us what you know of the circumstances surrounding the victim's death. So she finally is willing to speak for herself. This is where our fight really begins, Naruhodo. The victim said, "Unfortunately, I do not know when the doctor born himself. I simply enjoyed my beefsteak and shared a toast with him, remember? I heard that post-mortem states that he was killed with a gun." What else can I say? If there exists a way to kill without leaving a trace, then show it to me. Or your inexperienced investigators couldn't possibly produce any new evidence, surely. That was the most beautiful testimony that has ever raised. Dude, she's insulting you people! You're giving her way too much praise. I hope this will be the final time I'm forced to speak this barbaric language. I do sincerely apologize if I have offended you. Not at all. Being blessed with such words fills me with nanny. I knew all along that birthmark had nothing to do with it. I'm sure your Minister of Justice will love to hear all about today's trial. Minister of Justice? I like to see that the bothersome hoodlum of a stump over there receives an increased punishment for his unsustained accusations. Amen. Yes, me too. Poison for one. Huh? Wow. Thanks. Did you just say amen? Speaking of bothersome, we're ready for the next cross-examination. I'm sure you've already noticed that this bothersome hoodlum is actually quite exceptional. You shouldn't need reminding that this will be your final chance at a cross-examination. Should there be no issues with the following testimony, then this will be truly the conclusion of the trial. Do you understand that, Thorny? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination. The victim said, "Unfortunately, I do not know when the doctor burned himself. But this wrist was on the plate for 3 seconds. There's no way he didn't just notice. Alright, then let's flip things around. Huh? I noticed something at the start of the trial, and you still haven't fixed it. The zip of your back of your trousers is the zip of your black trousers is wide open. Did you notice that? Oh, what? What? Ha! Of course not. That is indeed the true defendant. I noticed too. I'm embarrassed just looking at you. You You could have said something. Dr. Watson was truly was a picture of a British gentleman. He chose silence over making a big fuss. Is that so surprising? Ah, I see. Yes, that does certainly seem plausible. That doesn't make any sense at all. Anyway. I simply enjoyed my beefsteak and shared toast with him, remember? You just testified a minute ago that it was with carbonated water, right? At the time, Dr. Watson was only allowed to drink liquids. Because of that, he ordered carbonated water. Isn't that right, head waiter? Yes, I'm sure of it. You are correct. However, as for whether or not the doctor drank any water when I carried the beefsteak over, I have no memory of that. God damn you! I love this game! Oh, I know that means may God's blessings be upon you, right? I'm pretty sure that was exact opposite of what it means. Anyway. Yes, I think it's going to be poison. That's right, it's written in the report. Bled to death after a single shot into the chest. Yes. Fortunately, humans can't die from minuscule burn wounds. And besides that, there is no trace of any other cause of death was found on the body. Then nothing but the bullet you fired could have killed the victim. But if the burn is from the iron plate, it would have been placed shortly after it reached the table. That's right. If it had cooled off even a little bit, it wouldn't have been able to leave a burn. And if the burn did come from touching the plate, then naturally, at the time, he would have already been dead. However, the reality is that the victim died from that one-shot wound. So long as you have no evidence to refute that, your argument is meaningless. Indeed, Prosecutor Ouchie is correct. What else? Do I have anything that implies poison? Without a trace? Whether you shoot with a gun, strangle, stab with a knife, or push someone down, when you take someone's life, there is always a trace left behind. Indeed, that is correct. Our police force investigated everything. I can say that with absolute certainty. Right, Detective Hosonaga? I strive for the most absolute thorough investigation to the best of my ability. There's no doubt that the average murderer will leave behind a trace on the corpse. But is there any method that would be an exception to that rule? Are we these stupid people? If perhaps by chance you suspect me, then I will have to request you show me the means by which I killed the doctor. But that's out of the question, isn't it? Don't be absurd. The very nerve suspecting a lovely British woman of such a thing. Such an insolent fellow. Ouchie, shall slice him in two. What kind of murder method will not want to leave a trace? If you want to prove it, you'll need some sort of evidence. Expensive investigation could possibly produce any new evidence, surely. Let's present the glass. Let's present the glass and see if Naruhodo elaborates further. Nope. What do you make of that statement? I don't think there was anything wrong with it in particular. That's what I meant to say. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It will appear to be a real problem here with you, defendant. Oh. Okay, calm down. Let's try thinking this over one more time. What exactly do you mean by inexperienced? In the British Empire, all evidence is left at the scene is preserved and investigated by the police. But in this country, investigators are a bit one and done affairs, correct? Yes! La Quantus is running business as usual today. That's why even if the situation changes, you wouldn't be able to find new evidence. Oh my god! And your experienced investigators didn't find a single shadow of doubt. Isn't it nice? It's just so, how do I say this, magnanimous. It hits right where it hurts. Those words sting, my lady. Somehow, that prosecutor feels like he's trying to act like a big shot. I'm pretty sure it's just your imagination. Though Giselle's testimony just now, just for a moment, I feel there was something trying to jump at me. Something red. What do you think, Naruhodo? I can't do it. No matter how much I press her, I can't get anything useful. You like bad girls, don't you, Zack? There's no surprise. She's clearly very stubborn. But if you don't take any action now, this cross-examination is over. No, I can't find evidence. I can't find even a single clue. Is it really impossible to tear down a foreign bell's testimony? That foreign bell's testimony? Hey, Asogi. What is it, Naruhodo? There's actually one thing that bothers me. What bothers you? Is it that lady? No, it's not her. It's that weirdo over there, Detective Hosonaga. Defective Hosonaga. The defective? In that last testimony, I feel like his reaction was pretty unusual. Maybe if I point out the good detective's reaction holds to the beans? That's it. I got an idea. Try pressing that lady's face in a statement one more time. Huh? This time our target isn't that stoic lady, but rather the defective standing next to her. Oh, I understand, so he must be onto something. I'll try pressing her last statement one more time. What exactly do you mean by inexperienced? In the British Empire, all evidence in the police, but correct. Yes, I saw that. I saw that. What do I do? Is this a new mechanic for this game? That's it! The detective reacted to Giselle's testimony. Up until a short while ago, the detective was on the witness stand with her as her interpreter. But now, the situation has changed completely. Detective Hosonaga is in a position to listen to her testimony. Maybe this is a chance we've been waiting for. What do you mean? Whenever someone takes the stand to testify, they try to not show any weakness. least attending to someone else's words, they let their guard down. I see, he's completely lost in thought. Now, why don't we try questioning that detective? Question him? Hold on, have a look at the bottom screen. Yes, let's break the fourth wall. The bottom screen. Right now, the lady testifying is our focus. If we slide this cursor, we can look at someone else. And then while you're looking at another person, the option to question will appear. Pushing them while their guard is down might give you some new information. So this is this game's new mechanic. It makes more sense that Athena's emojis. If anything seems strange, don't hesitate to change your focus and remember that. First I'll slide the cursor and look at the detective, okay. Then I question. Alright, let's give this a go. That's why even in this situation... Ah, it's with the D-pad. Okay, I was trying to do it with a touch screen, but no, it's with a D-pad. Chotto! Oh, what is it? What on earth? Focus. Focus. Sorry, I didn't think I will start to do like that. Wow, I completely bypassed his defenses. This technique is more powerful than I thought. Now it seemed like you were in deep thought about something. Maybe the lovely lady next to you helped you remember something? Tits! Is there anything you would like to say? Please tell us. Just what is this? Did you forget who's testifying right now? If you have no problem with what she said, then this cross-examination is over. Okay. That's not going to fly. What now? As long as he's still on the stand, Detective Hosonaga still qualifies as a witness. Also, he is directly related to the case too. Detective Hosonaga. Yes, Your Honor. Is there anything you wish to say in regards to the testimony of now? Very well then. If Your Honor must ask, I believe I do have something to say. It's true that the Imperial Police investigations are still inexperienced compared to Britain. But I, myself, Hosonaga, I live my life by the motto, if you plan to investigate, do it to the utmost perfection. Ah, so he's also an idiot. Perfection? Therefore, I, myself, Hosonaga, Kono Hosonaga, took from the crime scene everything I could get my hands on. All in the name of the crime scene preservation. Call me a crime scene thief if you must, but I still did it. You're a crime scene thief. Her insults must have struck a nerve somewhere deep within the detective. For example, this. Isn't that? This is a bottle of carbonated water I brought to detectives at the victim's table that day. Now, 3 days later, it's just regular water. But this was once carbonated. Let no one say otherwise. It looks like there's still something. It looks like there's still some water left in that bottle. I swear on this imminent new age, our country's police will become the world's best. I, Hosonaga, believe that from the bottom of my heart. I don't understand the witness himself, but I clearly understood his claim. The court accepts that beautiful glass bottle as evidence. If I may, Miss Brett. Oh no, is the huge going to drink it? Its label is written in a foreign language I have never seen before. What does it say, Asogi? It appears to be French. This is some kind of luxury item. But what does it say? Go to France and ask them. You could have just said you didn't knew. Is this, without a doubt, what the victim was drinking with you on that day? Yes, that very glass bottle. I feel like... Just now, it looked like she tried to avert her eyes. Very well then. Let us get back to the cross-examination. Detective, please try to keep yourself together. Baguette! Yes, baguette! No kids, on fancy. Ho 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 ho! Now we do have a way to prove it. Yes! This is a glass bottle from earlier. There's only one way the victim could have been killed without leaving a trace. Of course, that will be... poison. Poison? That day, Dr. Watson took a drink of this carbonated water. The liquid inside the bottle could have easily contained poison. And when the doctor drank it, that's when he died. Order! Order! Order in the court! Who could have poisoned this drink? Maybe it was someone sitting at his table. Only one person fits that description, of course. That person will be... Miss Giselle Brett! You poisoned Dr. John Watson! You little... How dare you make such wild, baseless conjectures? Even a mere schoolboy like you should understand the position the umpire's in. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It doesn't act that fast. I mean, poor detective there has been coughing blood for 3 days now. We only just signed the Japanese Anglo Alliance Treaty. Do you intend to destroy this historical relationship with your mad accusations? This is no place for politics. This is a court to judge criminal sins. What are you saying? Oh yeah, because in Japanese, sumi is both crime and sin, so yeah. Where she is from is irrelevant. Whether she is guilty or not is all that matters. Excuse me, may I interject? Ouchie will forcefully silence all... Shut up! The one who should be silenced is you. Yes! This is like the end of the samurai period, so yes. Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am! Hi, Oyo-sama. Why in the world the air feels so tense? Please excuse my earlier remark, I fear it was quite rude. I sincerely apologize from the bottom of my heart. What remark could you be referring to? I call the Japanese police inexperienced, but even with their lack of experience, I'm sure they have at least conducted a proper investigation. Surely they investigated whether or not this bottle was laced with poison. Of course we did. As I had stated earlier, I always strive for perfection. It is my life's goal. Then... naturally, we have inspected the contents of this glass bottle. My word! And what are the results? After analyzing it against all poisons known to our country, our conclusion is... this carbonated drink contains no poison whatsoever. Dude, you are dying! What? Are you absolutely sure? That is the conclusion reached by the Chief Imperial Medical Examiner himself. What? Please allow me to express my sincere gratitude to the people of this country. They so gracefully proved my innocence. I am truly at your debt. Of course we did, it's all part of the job, my lady, no thanks needed. How could this be? How could this happen to me? I made my mistake. This is ridiculous. If he was poisoned, then all pieces of the puzzle fit perfectly together. It will seem that all that has been made clear with this cross-examination. Other than this pistol, there were no other available means to murder the doctor. Therefore, the one who committed this crime can only be the defendant who was holding the weapon in his own hand. It's really the end of the line for me. I do deeply apologize for taking up your time, Miss Brett. There is no need for apologies, just as long as everybody knows the truth. Friends, there is one thing I would like to confirm with you. Do you have any other evidence that you wish to present? Or new evidence? Other new evidence? Asogi. I'm sorry, Naruto. We have nothing left. Well then, I will take my leave of you all. Did I game over? I must ask you for your patience. I remember her. Who was that? I'm deeply sorry for interrupting this trial. I am a legal assistant. My name is Usato Mikotowa. Mikotowa? She appeared calm and dignified in our desperate final moments. In her hands, she held a small bag enveloped in cloth. Oh, come on! There's... that's bullshit. Just, yeah, let's continue. Let's see what's going to happen now. Yes, it's probably that. November 22, or a poison they didn't knew in Japan at the time. 1:14 PM, Supreme Court, Courtroom 2. And? What business do you have here, legal assistant? Ah, and I was actually starting to worry, well, it's just a legal assistant, a woman even. First and foremost, there is no place for women in this Supreme Court. Oh, fuck you. I am well aware of that. Please just spare me 5 minutes of your time. There's a piece of evidence I must deliver to defense. Too late, the trial has already over, save for the sentencing. You get 5 minutes, and not a second more. Your Honor! Thank you very much. Who are you? There's no time to explain. Hurry, take this. It's written in English and it's like some kind of report. These are Giselle's Brett's research documents. They belong to her? Earlier, after the recess ended, I went to the Imperial Yunmei University. I borrowed this from Dr. Watson's laboratory. I see. Then this woman was really doing research with the doctor. Are you implying that this research has something to do with the incident? I don't know, after all. I wasn't here to listen to the trial. Oh, that's right. Characteristics, reactions, and effects on the human body of Curer. Curer? What's that? I've never heard of it. Time's up! I demand that this malcontent legal assistant be removed from the court at once. I had the time to do more than glance over the document, but I will provide a simplified summary of its contents at the front. Please take a look through it yourselves if you would like. Got it, thank you very much. The sales report has been added to the court record. Now then, I wish you good luck, or good fortune. And she vanished like a ghost. We cannot keep our British guest waiting any longer. I will ask you one last time. Does either the prosecution or the defense wish to present any more evidence? Oh, you bet. Prepare for a mine now classified as Strychnos toxifera. It is only known to grow in the jungles of the Amazon. Since ancient times, the natives of that land have used it to hunt. Effect: even a very small dosage instantly paralyzes all muscle from the body. A fatal and deadly poison. Conditions: the poison is effective when it enters the body through a wound such as that of an inflicted blow dart. Since it paralyzes all muscles in the body, it is being considered for use as an anesthetic. But due to the paralysis of the body, allowing patients to breathe is a problem, and that will need to be resolved. Of course not. This trial has already more than enough evidence. Naruhodo, you have no longer liberty of choice. This is quite literally your final chance. Yeah, I know. Your Honor, please allow us to present this piece of evidence. I recognize that fire in your eyes. That is the steadfast fire of a Japanese man who doesn't know the meaning of retreat. Witness, Miss Brett, may I ask you one last question? Oh dear, what? Would you be willing to stay with us just a short while longer? I do appreciate the invitation. But it's almost time for my afternoon, Stacy. I will have to excuse myself. Miss Brett, I ask you politely out of respect towards you and your homeland. That too! You may not have understood me, but I will not take a no for an answer. I can't help but think. You Japanese all defy basic logic. I'm sorry to impose, my lady. Now, attorney. Present the new evidence that you believe warrants for the investigation. Giselle Brett, it appears you were conducting research in Dr. Watson's research facilities. And what's more, you happen to be researching a deadly poison. Strange coincidence, isn't it? What? Deadly poison? What's the meaning of this? Its name is Correr. It is a deadly poison that requires only smash those to cause certain death. What manner of joke is this? You must have gone off the deep end. Correr? I've never even heard of a poison like that. Of course you haven't. Nani? There's no reason that you will know what it is after all. Until today, this poison was never known to exist in the Japanese Empire. It was never known to exist? Yes. In other words, the Imperial Police can examine all they like, but they've never been able to detect this poison. Simply because the methods to detect it haven't been developed in Japan. Nani? ¿Dónde Order in the court. Do poisons as terrifying as that really exist? According to these research documents written by Miss Brett, the hunting tribes of South America have used this poison to hunt since ancient times. To the researchers and medical students in Europe, this seems to be common language. They hunt with poison. It is a deadly poison extracted from bark of trees that grow in the Amazon jungles. It was discovered after their explorers brought some back to Europe. If you were trying to be hit by a blow dart smeared with this poison will kill you instantly. Isn't that right, miss? Dun dun dun! Your claims are all nonsense. First off, if the victim was poisoned then, he would have been writhing in pain. Everybody in La Quantos would have noticed. Indeed. Your thoughts, detective? I think I'm dying! Certainly. If a man was writhing in pain, I would have been on the scene immediately. Come to think of it, I don't remember the doctor being in pain. According to these documents, the completely opposite should have been expected. What? The opposite? The victim did not exhibit any manner of being in pain. That in itself could be evidence that cure was used. What do you mean by that? Please explain. The instant the poison enters the body, it will paralyze all muscles. In other words, you will lose all of the ability to move any of your limbs. Even if a victim felt any pain, he or she will not be able to express it. My word! Of course, if he lost control of his muscles, the victim will collapse. However, if you use a chair to prop the victim, prop the body up, any bystanders will be none the wiser. But Asogi, there's something I don't quite understand. How does paralyzing only the muscles result in instant death? You might regret asking that question. Of course, the victim can no longer move once the poison takes a hold. Remember, your respiratory system needs to use muscles as well. The poison prevents that. Then you won't be able to breathe. In short, the most accurate cause of death will be suffocation. For several minutes, the victim is still unconscious but unable to move or cry for help. Inconceivable! To any onlookers, it will seem like a painless sleep like instant death. But for the victim, I couldn't imagine a more cruel death. That's the truth of the cure. Then this glass bottle. Does it really contain that cruel, deadly poison? That's enough nonsense from you. We don't know the poison, so we can detect it. Don't play games with me. Excuse me, may I speak? A student quibbling about with nonsensical theories? The one who ought to be learning is you. Yes, ma'am. Hi, Oyo-sama! Is this how you Japanese always handle things? What do you mean? Stealing a lady's research documents, waving them around as if they were your discovery. Barbaric isn't strong enough of a word to describe you monsters. Rest assured we feel the same way about you. Why would you filthy ants think you could look down on me? Taking advantage of those less learned to get away with murder. That sounds barbaric enough for me. To me. Do you disagree, my lady? All that aside, I outright refuse to accept your claims. You claim these fair ladies are a wielder of poison that we don't even know? What a farce! What's so funny? Excuse me, Your Honor, was it? Yes, my name is John Honor. Yes, Miss Brett? May I borrow that glass bottle for a moment? Yes, I suppose that's fine. Is she going to drink it? Night Arras, take care! Oh my god! She's going to drink it. You little Japanese cretins should learn to not become so conceited. What are you on about? From a British woman's perspective, this farce is nothing more than child's play. Fraudulent police in a petulant husk of a court. It's laughable. But it's about time we end this childish game. Cheers! Oh my god! Oh, what are you doing? Mere carbonated water, now flat, fitting indeed for such a dull court as such a dull court as this. Oh my. What's the matter? You all look like you've seen a ghost. Then, there was no cure inside that glass bottle? Your face tells me that you can't believe it. But that's the truth. I must thank you for presenting the results of my research to the Supreme Court. You've done a fine job, little boy, now, Your Honor. Oh, yes, ma'am. May I finally take my leave this time? I think I've cooperated with you enough for one day, even if it's for the sake of vampires. I apologize, my lady. Words cannot express my gratitude. It's impossible. There had to be poison inside that bottle. So then how? How could she drink it all and still be standing there alive as well? I don't understand. I'm glad you had a chance. I'm glad I had a chance to enjoy this one-act comedy here on this tiny island in the Far East. My friends in Britain are sure to laugh at this lovely little story. Did that bottle contain poison or not? And if it did, then why is she still standing? I should have already. I should have all clues needed to answer this question. Is there really a deadly poison contained within that bottle? No, it's in the glass. 1 second, please. Okay, let's finish this. I guess there wasn't any poison in the bottle. What? Naruhodo? Well, if there was, then she should be dead. Sometimes your naivety is so mystifying, it leaves me in a fog. Maybe you should be clear at night, like our school's uniform. Is that really what our uniform is supposed to represent? I will have you, oh! It hurts so good, eh? Oh, now I feel like I'm drinking poison myself. Did that bottle contain poison or not? And if it did, why is she still standing? The culprit laced Dr. Watson's carbonated water with the curar. No, the defense insists on this claim. Nani? You amateur, what are you getting at now? There's no way the bottle could have had any poison in it. Just because she drank it of her own volition? Indeed, isn't it an obvious contradiction? There may very well be an explanation for that contradiction. What? Let's think about this mystery step by step. The answer must be in the court record. Now, defendant, no, you deserve to be called an attorney. I ask you that you present your evidence. Why is the witness still standing after drinking it? I believe it's this. Attorney, no, you should no longer deserve this title, full young defendant. The contradiction you presented is in your own train of thought. Try again. Oof. Okay, I'll think about it over again. Seems more like a malediction than a contradiction to me, partner. Anyways, I'll use my age as an excuse to try again. Who's young defendant, attorney? I ask you that you present your evidence. Okay, let's think about this. It's not the cop. Oh my god, am I stupid? Why is the witness still stand? Because it needs to enter through a needle and not orally. Yes, I'm an idiot. The answer we need is, of course, within the witness research documents. That won't give us any kind of answer. After all, yes, it was her records. This document and the English language are impossible for us to understand. You impertinent amateur, don't dare ridicule me. I'm not trying to ridicule you and I'm not calling on nerves. Indeed, this document is far too large for us to read here. Defense, I suggest you become more specific. Where in this document when you see? Oh my god! Somewhere can be. I believe it's useless. Let me just double check. No, characteristics. Up until now, I've heard a lot of about Curer. And there is just one thing that caught my attention. And what is that? Primitive tribes use this poison to hunt, and they smear the blow darts with poison before shooting their prey. Indeed, that seems to be correct so far. Naturally, these hunters proceed to eat their kills, right? What are you getting at? Think about it. The carcass still has traces of the poison in its blood. That's right. Normally, people won't eat meat tainted with poison, right? You can't say that again, I won't dream of eating something like that. That's when I realized, in this document, there's an explanation under characteristics. It states that symptoms only occur when the poison enters through a wound. A wound. The specificity of it caught my eye. In other words, the truth to be discerned from this document is this. Curar, when entered through a wound, is deadly poison. However, when ingested, Curar is completely harmless. What kind of poison is this? What? Misread. You knew of Curar's special characteristics. That's why you could drink it with all such overflowing confidence. You impudent little... Damned rat! That geese is alive! Naruhodo. You far exceed my expectations. You really have potential as an attorney. Sorry. Do I? Attorney? As if such convenient potion actually exists in the first place. If that's the case, then what? Look, an ignorant little monkey thinks he's grasped the real intelligence for the first time. But all you can do is swing it around like ineptly like a new toy. Cut to the chase. It's a fatal contradiction on that sloppy claims of you, little boy. What? Really? Huh. Well, as they say, real life is unrealistic. Little boy? Contradiction? Yes, her mask changed. As you may have guessed, Cura is a poison that's safe to drink. Yep. We believe that is neutralized when it reacts with its stomach acid. Totally makes sense, doesn't it? What's this about stomach acid? However, if it's safe to drink this deadly poison? Wouldn't the good doctor have survived? Wouldn't the good doctor have survived drinking it? Ah, indeed, makes sense to me. Well, so we civilized people call this science. Do you follow so far, little boy? Both of them drank the same poison, then naturally the result will be the same. That means this poison called Cure has nothing to do with the incident. Exactly. Even that should be comprehensible to a little boy. There's a sharp mask, boy left behind by civilization. Wait, what if it entered by the burn wound? You know, the burn wound, maybe. What is this feeling? Something is welling up inside me, something I've never felt before. The conviction to stand against the contradictions, a feeling like righteous anger. I'll go Super Saiyan, I mean I'll strike with all I have. It all starts with the tip of my finger. It's time to corner my prey. Finally, we get the objection. Don't play stupid, Giselle. Where did that fire in your eyes come from? You already know the answer. Even if both you and the victim drank from the very same bowl of water. You already know why only the victim died. Do you know the reason for this contradiction? I urge you to present your evidence, attorney. If our witness can drink this so-called deadly poison without batting an eye, why did only the victim succumb to the poison? The wound. Ah, hell. I'm not sure I can trust this evidence, especially when you can skeptic. Hey, Naruhodo, don't overthink it. Cure is a poison that is only dangerous when it enters the blood through a wound. So in other words, when Dr. Watson drank his carbonated water, he must have kind of wanted the poison to enter his bloodstream. Didn't I choose the correct photo? Yes, I get it now. The wound from the tooth. Yes. Wow. Sometimes I really am stupid. Exactly. His tooth was extracted, so that must be the. Dr. Watson and the witness did indeed drink the same water. But they don't think of the water, think of the main difference between the people who drank it. What differences do you have in mind? Curare only becomes poisonous when it enters through the blood through a wound. Thus, if a healthy person ingests it, it's entirely harmless. However, if it passed over an open wound as you drank it, what do you suppose would happen? An open wound? Yes, for example, maybe a certain someone visited a dental clinic. Maybe he had a tooth removed. Oh! Giselle, you mentioned it a few times. You are aware Dr. Watson had his tooth extracted. And the witness used that to her advantage. What's happening? Why is she laughing? Since we have come this far, I shall reiterate what I said earlier. Truly, this is like a child's game, a mock trial filled to the brim with Naviette. Naviette? How is that pronounced? What do you mean? This is what I mean, little boy. What accident may befall this precious evidence if you handle it so carelessly? Don't allow me to teach you an important lesson. Isn't this automatically like declaring yourself guilty? Doesn't this mean automatic? I'm guilty. Oh my, whatever will you do? Your precious little evidence is gone now. What? Wow! No. What on earth just happened? That Great just smashed the bottle into pieces. This trial is Supreme Court. What kind of disgrace is this? What are you doing, bailiff? Quickly, retrieve what water you can immediately. A futile effort. This carpet is a gift from the British Empire. It does quite a fine job at absorbing water. Your methods are advanced enough to collect any, safe to say, it's impossible. Oh. How could you do this? You won't get away with any of this. Well, no matter how hard this little boy cries and slams his desk, we will never find out whether or not the bottle contained poison for the rest of eternity. Monster! While on the other hand, the evidence that supports my claims yet stand. Isn't that right, prosecutor? Sir Prosecutor? Yes, you speak of this photograph. That is right, anyone who sees this photograph will agree. The poor doctor was sitting on his back turned on me. The only one who could have shot the victim from the front is this little boy. Here's what really happened. On that day you conspired to poison the victim. Following that, in order to pin on the crime on the Runos Naruhodo, you took action when you saw him picking up the pistol from the floor. You drew your own concealed pistol and shot the doctor's corpse. Then, in the ensuing chaos, all you had to do was rotate the chair around with the body. With that in mind, you were still a suspect. You got quite an imagination, little boy. I concealed a pistol, I shot his corpse. There's no evidence in the world that could prove that. Exactly. As long as there isn't any evidence, the prosecution's stance will not change. The victim, Dr. Watson, was shot by the Ryunosuke Naruhodo. The defendant is the one and only suspect. Darn, this is absurd. We've come so far and got so far in the end, it doesn't even matter. I mean, now she's going to get away like this? All we can do is watch as she destroys evidence for her own gain? Naruhodo, Asogi, I've helped you come this far, but now the trial's in your hands. Why me? We have lost our decisive evidence right now. If there are any final clues... they can only be within your mind. Within my mind? Remember, you said you at least had confidence in your own observational skills. Of course, we can just forget that I managed to overlook that flashy Western diva. Think back to the moment of the crime. Remember when you saw what you felt, even the colors and smells. What I saw and what I felt. Even the colors. I wonder. Does the answer really lie dormant within my chromatic memories? I love this spoon. A clue that points towards the culprit who shot Dr. Watson does exist. So I think I may have found it. A clue that lies dormant within my memories. Will you never cease to amaze me? Take that clue and shove it in their faces. Right, I'll do just that. There's one strange feeling that lies dormant within my memories. Could that be the key that opens the door to the truth? Truth that reveals the true culprit is that obvious splotch of blood. Detective Hosonaga, I have a question for you. Yes? How can I help you? Ah, poor kitty. Is he fine? It looks like he's still in shock from that glass bottle shattering. As I recall, you claim that you always strive for perfection, right? Exactly. Then, detective, is it safe to assume that you confiscated everything from the crime scene? Including, perhaps, the beefsteak plate that was left on the victim's table? Hold on, what are you... What manner of yoke is this? It's no yoke. This is all about my memories. Part of your memories. At the time, I was an eyewitness too. I saw what I was shown in this photograph of the scene. Where I noticed a wooden slab being used on the to carry the beefsteak. I saw blood on it. What? So? Surely it splattered after you shot the doctor. Wrong, try again. Take a closer look at how everything and everybody is arranged in the photo. The beefsteak plate is more or less located directly behind him. If I shot the doctor from the front, then it will be impossible for the blood to splash on the plate behind him. I see. If there are blood stains in the plate, then that would mean that the person who shot the victim will be the one sitting on the other side of the table. And with no other than Giselle Brett. What? The audacity of such a ridiculous claim is galling. Your own memories? Do you really expect us to believe a murderer's tales? Hi, Satoru Hosonaga. I believe that I became a detective for the sake of this very moment. Then you mean... Of course, I did indeed bring it with me, all in the same of honest crime scene preservation. Call me a crime scene thief if you must. I even took the half-eaten meat. Nani? This lady's meal, even the soldier's meal. I confiscated all indiscriminately in the name of justice. Present it for inspection right away. We have to see if Reseau's plate has blood on it. Reseau's plate, sorry. Detective! And then I ate the half. If he did that, yes. I ordered you to present the beefsteak that was at the victim's table on the day of the incident. Yes, sir. I apologize for the delay. This is a beefsteak in question. So what about the blood? Do you find any? Impossible, it can't be there. Quickly now present it to the court, show us all the blood. Very well. Look to your heart's content. Oh, you son of a bitch. Where's the blood? No. This has to be... This has to be a joke. This has to... Is it the same? Is it even the same meat? Yes. Oh. I don't see any. No. Why? I know, I saw it. I swear it was there. The plate of the beefsteak was right behind the doctor and there was blood in it. You ought to see the look on your face, little boy. Everyone in the civilized world knows that the Japanese can't be trusted. I couldn't agree more, you damn Japanese. Man, you're Japanese. The court has now reached a conclusion once and for all. But of course, as for this pitiful mock trial, let's just forget this ever happened, shall we? Look at it all you want, but you'll never find any blood on this sorry piece of meat. Look at it! Look at it with your sorry eye. Oh, okay, yes, I will look at it. Was the blood I saw only an illusion? Only one way to find out. What? What is that? It's a Koban judged by the seal. I guess it's from the Huey era. No, that's not the point. Why is there a Koban thing under this beefsteak? This is a wrong beefsteak. Hold on a second. Did you say Huey era? That's right, it's covered in meat sauce, but that won't decrease its value. Koban from the Huey era. I've heard of birds before swine, but gold before bovine, this will be a first. I really doubt you ever hear that again. Honestly, it's incredible that we even found this. It's hard to believe such a precious coin will be lying under a hunk of meat, especially considering that objects from the Huey era are so valuable. Yeah, and now it's covered in all its thick gravy. Getting a little hungry, Naruhodo? Very funny. Well, the next time someone serves me beefsteak at a restaurant, I'll be sure to give the meat a careful flip before I dig in. Hope you aren't mistaking beefsteak from some kind of lottery. Found a Koban under this beefsteak. The only reasonable conclusion, yes. Hello. The gable still hasn't hung on your fate, huh? I will believe in yourself. Keep looking forward until the bitter end. I believe in myself. There's only one thing to do. I need to look over it one more time. No issues were found with the evidence requested by the defense. Therefore, the inspection of all evidence and question ends here. Do you have any objections, attorney? The blood stain was supposed to be the finishing blow. Are there any more clues that I can find in the doctor's sweepstake? No, please wait, the beefsteak is right here. Still holds a shocking truth within me. The only shocking truth here is your abnormal obsession with that beefsteak. Your Honor, I'm sure you're aware, but we can't talk about that little details all day. It will never. We can talk about boring little details all day, but it'll never amount to anything. To come this far, it's only fair to inspect every piece of evidence fully. It's a decision held by the Supreme Court. My sincerest apologies, my lady. I thought we were allies. Are you sure that was the right thing to say? Your Honor. The court orders the defense to explain further. Point out the lead that you say is hidden in the beefsteak to the dish to. Sorry. What's that? It's a command. Oh, again, this is a cutscene? That's not the point. Why is there a cutscene on their beefsteak? Hold on a second. Did you say why? Yeah, that's right. It's covered in meat sauce, but that won't be crispy. Had I known I will get this cutscene again, I wouldn't have checked it first. Oh man. Yes, I know, the lottery, Koban. This is... Koban? What in the world is that? This is a Joera Koban. Yes, I said. This is allegedly the beefsteak you were eating before you murdered young Watson. Could you explain why something like this was hidden under the meat? What are you talking about? As if I will know. I've never seen that before. Don't bring me into your Japanese nonsense. Who cares about that? It's just a command under the meat. Yes, who cares about a golden coin under meat? I'm sure it would up there by coincidence with some chef's carelessness. What kind of kitchen randomly gets something like this mixed in with their food? When we happened to turn up the steak, there was a Joera Koban wedged underneath. If this really has no relation to the incident, I will gladly quit the exchange program. He has a point. Excuse me, Your Honor. What is it, attorney? When we turned over the meat, we found a Koban under it. If this really has nothing to do with the incident, then I will gladly step down as an attorney. No one asked you to become one in the first place. If you want to stop, go right ahead. The only thing here that has nothing to do with this incident is you, little boy. When am I on trial? In any case, we must find the owner of this Koban and listen what he has to say. The owner of this Koban? Yeah, now that I think about it, there is only one man who it could belong to. The owner of the Koban hidden underneath the beefsteak is none other than the old man. That will be the owner of half of this card antique shop, Sanmon Honohigurashi. How typical of the Japanese to have such bizarre names. As I recall, that's the name of the old man who testified alongside the soldier. Yes, Your Honor. Indeed, he mentioned a command earlier. He testified that when the crime occurred, I crept under the table and heard a sharp gunshot shortly thereby. Crept under the table? What were you doing down there? Searching for a lost item. A command! A precious coin from the Hoyo era. A Hoyo era command, then this must be his. Wait, why would a command from an antique shop end up hidden underneath a beefsteak on the victim's dining table? I think we should hear the reason from that from the owner of the command himself. Bailiff! Have the two witnesses from earlier be brought back here as soon as possible. I think that's going to be it for tonight. My headphones battery is about to die and my throat hurts. We'll continue the Great Ace Attorney another time. Zach, I hope you had fun. Certainly I'm having fun with the sheer madness of the game. It's kind of amazing. So yes, that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you so much for coming over. Tomorrow I will stream bot with Aras. Maybe we'll finish Konoha tomorrow, we'll see. With that said, thank you and good night.